Bruce Brown with River Valley Orchid Works OrchidTalk Forum, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to repot a Bulbophyllum orchid. This particular Bulbophyllum orchid came to us from a vendor in North Carolina, and it was shipped to us bare root. So we're going to be working with a bare root orchid, so this will be its first pot with us. I'm going to be using a slotted wooden basket, and this basket is very open, and Bulbophyllums like to maintain moisture around the roots. So the mix that I'm using is going to be a very small bark mixture. So I've placed a layer of screen in the bottom of the basket and covered that with some medium-sized lava rock that I've washed very carefully. In the video there you can see I'm messing around with the spike. This particular orchid will bloom on the same spike for about 5 years. Now this spike is dried up, so it's past its time. But over the course of 5 years this orchid will produce sequential blooms, anywhere from 50 to 75 blooms over the span of 5 years for this orchid. So it's always in bloom once it starts blooming. The first thing I'm going to do is put a layer of our bark mix down on top of the lava rock, and I'm going to orient this Bulbophyllum so that it faces, the new growth faces the center of the pot. There on the screen you can see what our bark mix is made of. The water retaining properties of this mix come from the coconut husk, the medium-sized coconut chunks. That really helps to hold the moisture in around the roots. And if you noticed, I didn't remove the spag that was around the roots when the vendor shipped this to us. He had been growing this orchid in spag, and since spag would stay too wet in our greenhouse, I don't recommend doing that, but this orchid will grow pretty fast, so we're going to pot it up in this small basket, and then in about a year I'm going to repot it once again. But I'm leaving that spag in there to help it maintain some moisture and get acclimated to growing in the bark mix. So what I'm doing now, as you can see in the video, I'm running water through the bark mix. This will help me to settle the mix. I'll tap it here on the table to make sure that it's solid. There we go. And that it won't slip out. I may have to take some rhizome clips and clip the orchid down so that all of the pseudobulbs touch the surface of the bark. It's very important not to bury them in the bark, but you want them to touch the bark. Otherwise they'll produce air roots, and those air roots can dry out pretty quickly. And Bulbophyllums don't want to dry completely out. They do want a free draining mix. They don't want to stay wet, but they don't want to dry out completely. There in the video you can see I'm pointing at the tag now. It's very important to write down the name of your orchid, and I recommend also writing down the date that you potted your orchid up. That way you'll know when about 2 years it's time to take another look at this orchid for its health. And there we go. We have repotted our Bulbophyllum orchid. Thanks for watching this demonstration on repotting a Bulbophyllum. For more information on growing orchids, visit us online at www.rv-orchidworks.com.